1. Abundant, adj, more than enough, plentiful. Example. The garden had an abundant supply of fresh vegetables. 2. Astonish, iv, to surprise or amaze someone greatly. Example. His ability to solve the puzzle in seconds astonished everyone. 3. Benevolent, adj, kind and generous. Example, she was known for her benevolent acts of helping those in need. 4. Comprehend, iv, to understand or grasp something fully. Example, it's difficult to comprehend the scale of the universe. 5. Deliberate, adj, done consciously and intentionally. Example, he made a deliberate decision to take a gap year before college. 6. Emerge, iv, to come into view or become visible. Example, the sun began to emerge from behind the clouds. 7. Facilitate, iv, to make a process easier or assist in something happening. Example. Technology can facilitate communication between remote teams. 8. Imply, iv, to suggest or indicate something indirectly. Example. Her tone of voice seemed to imply that she was upset. 9. Notion, an idea, belief, or concept. Example. The notion of freedom is central to many societies. 10. Sustain, iv, to maintain or keep something going over time. Example. They struggled to sustain their business during the pandemic. 11. Adapt, iv, to change in order to fit new conditions or environments. Example. Animals must adapt to their surroundings to survive. 12. Advocate, iv, to publicly support or recommend something. Example, she advocates for the protection of endangered species. 13. Cautious, adj, careful to avoid danger or mistakes. Example. He was cautious while walking on the slippery road. 14. Coherent, adj, logical and consistent, making sense as a whole. Example. Her argument was clear and coherent, making it easy to follow. 15. Confine, iv, to restrict or keep within limits. Example. The animals were confined to a small area of the park. 16. Diminish, iv, to make or become smaller or less important. Example. His influence in the company began to diminish after the new leadership. 17. Distinguish, v, to recognize or point out the difference between things. Example. It's hard to distinguish between the two identical twins. 18. Enhance, iv, to improve the quality or value of something. Example. The new design will enhance the user experience of the app. 19. Fluctuate, iv, to change or vary irregularly. Example, the stock market tends to fluctuate throughout the year. 20. Obtain, iv, to get or acquire something. Example. He worked hard to obtain his degree from He University. 21. Inevitable, adj, certain to happen, unavoidable. Example. With such heavy rain, getting wet was inevitable. 22. Justify, iv, to show or prove that something is right or reasonable. Example. The company had to justify its decision to raise prices. 23. Modify, iv, to change or adjust something slightly. Example. We need to modify the plan to meet the new deadline. 24. Perceive, iv, to become aware of or understand something through the senses. Example. She perceived a slight change in his attitude. 25. Precede, iv, to come before something. in time or order. Example. The speech was preceded by a brief introduction. 26. Reluctant, adj, unwilling or hesitant to do something. Example. He was reluctant to accept the job offer because of the long commute. 27. Reside av, to live or stay in a particular place. Example. She resides in a small town near the coast. 28. Significant, adj, important or meaningful. Example. The new discovery was significant for medical research. 29. Specify IV, to state something clearly and precisely. Example, the instructions specify the correct dosage of the medication. 30. Thorough, adj, complete and detailed. Done with great care. Example. The report provided a thorough analysis of the problem. 31. Acquire IV, to get or obtain something. Example, she managed to acquire new skills during her internship. 32. Allocate IV, to distribute or assign resources or tasks for a particular purpose. Example. The manager allocated funds for the new project. 33. Ambiguous, adj, having more than one possible meaning, unclear. Example. His statement was so ambiguous that no one knew what he really meant. 34. Anticipate av, to expect or predict something. Example. The team anticipated challenges and prepared in advance. 35. Assume v, to take for granted or accept something as true without proof. Example. Don't just assume that everyone understands the instructions. 36. Cope, v, to deal with or manage difficult situations or stress. Example. She had to cope with the sudden loss of her job. 37. Contribute av, to give or add something, such as time or effort, to a larger goal. Example. Many employees contributed ideas for improving the process. 38. Emphasize v, to give special importance or attention to something. Example, the teacher emphasized the importance of studying regularly. 39. Innovative, adj, using new ideas or methods. Creative and original. Example. The company is known for its innovative products and solutions. 40. Persevere av, to continue trying despite difficulties or obstacles. Example, she had to persevere through many challenges to